welcome back to fourth episode in 1 week. This is a monumental week we've had here. And to cap it off, we have the 2025 champion. We have Yerdan. Yerdan, say hello.
Hello, hello.
All right. This is a highly anticipated podcast with the champion. With the champion. Don't really need to um, go any further with introductions. 12-2 last year. 12-2, very very solid year. Um, that
Oh yeah,
was I don't want you to like take this like in the wrong way. A little unexpected for me. I didn't see that coming. A 12-2 season out of you, but you score the most points in the league by far. So congrats to you.
yeah. Thank you, thank you. I will say, I felt like I got stiff armed out of the playoffs the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I felt real butthurt with Jonathan Taylor's playoff performance because he like went off during those playoffs.
Yep.
So that was real rough. So I kind of felt like I needed to make a point to just like either take it all the way or just do the best I can, especially since I got put in the bads for that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just how this league goes, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Which
yeah, I'm very happy with the performance.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's get into it with off season. You had a pretty quiet off season. Didn't make any trades. You only had the one pick, which you used for Travis Hunter, which we'll talk about him later. But at the
Mhm.
time, I think it was probably the ADP choice. He was probably next up in line. And looking at your running backs, I don't really think Judkins would have been the play there. So I don't fault this pick at all. I think this was the pick at the time. So this was the only pick you had. I guess I just want to hear your thought process if you can recall about what you were thinking when you made the pick.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew that Rahul was going to take Ted McMillan.
Mm.
I was just surprised with some of these other picks that came in beforehand. Like Tyler Warren was like a good pick for Seattle for sure. Um, just like I guess taking Trevion Henderson and then GNT and Hampton, it just felt weird. Take like having Hunter sitting there at six, so I just
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was a good value. And you can't really see much of that, considering he like got hurt by like week six or whatnot,
Yeah.
or week seven, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Um, but like, I mean, he was just not being utilized at all for like those first 6 weeks, and then something happened. Like the coaching staff just felt like they got desperate, and they actually felt like they needed to throw and use him, and that
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful to see. But they actually ended up killing him. So
Yep.
I want to see more of that for sure next year. Hopefully, he doesn't get used as like a DB as much because I think that was definitely taken away from him.
Yeah, we'll see. I know they're saying that he's going to be more defensive back this year, and that we'll see because
Yeah.
they said last year all sorts of things like he was going to play every snap, so it was a lot of smoke. So we'll see what happens with him this year. I think it's an
Hmm.
interesting one to watch. I don't think they're going to completely abandon him as a receiver. I think with what they gave up to get him, that would be kind of silly. Because I think the
Yeah.
whole time they were thinking he's going to play two positions for us. So I don't know if they're going to give up that easily. Maybe not. We'll probably know more around training camp preseason, but for now we'll see with him. He's kind of a question mark for me right now. We'll talk more about him in a little bit. You didn't make any trades until the season, and I only have this one here. I don't really know what was going on. I think you got some fob back for this. I don't know for sure.
$5. Yeah.
So yeah, you got something. So honestly, Tua was not very good last year. So
I just definitely did not want to see him on the waiver wire because like I needed to make space
yeah.
for my other quarterback. Um, yeah, hold on, I gotta look at my team. Yeah, I needed to make space for Dart.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really frustrating because he was on the taxi squad, and I just couldn't get a trade going. And I remembered I tried to make some trades with Joe, and it was just not going very smoothly at all. It was just like way too much being asked for, and
Yeah, those usually spiral.
um, yeah, and I felt like I couldn't really get any sort of trades with anybody unless it was like totally lopsided. Um, So yeah, that's kind of like why I was mostly quiet in terms of like the trading, and now I have like no picks. So
Well, yeah,
I'm
you
kind
made
of
the big move for Pickens here, which two firsts, second to the third, all of which, well, the first this year and the next third this year, are both the last pick of each round. So, I mean, that's I think good value for what you're ending up getting back in Pickens. He was very good for you when you had him. Um, I know I don't remember the week you got him, but he had a really good year, had a lot of good games for you. So, I mean, it's worth it. You won the league, so this is a great trade in my opinion. But
yeah, yeah.
I'm guessing your thought process just needed to add something to JSN and just beef up the receiving room and talk me through your process there if you want.
Yeah, I needed some more weight for sure. Like I needed like a wide receiver one or like a running back one, something
Mm-hmm.
that can fit into flex. And you know, I've always loved the Cowboys, so like
Mm-hmm.
I felt like shopping for this for at least a couple weeks before I made the trade, and then when you made the CD Lamb trade, it was just kind of like it was a comparable, so
Mm-hmm.
it was something for Taylor to try to trade with me with. Just something for him to base it off of.
Right.
But like he was also trying to get 4 first rounds
Oh
out of him.
man.
Like, yeah, he was trying to up it after I didn't accept the first offer. He was like, let's do 4 now. He's younger and he's better than CD Lamb. I'm like,
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
let's not go crazy here, man.
That's
But
four first. It's crazy.
yeah, but it worked out. I mean, like I definitely set Taylor up pretty well. My future's definitely cooked. I think my team's just going to last a couple seasons here before we go into a rebuild, most likely. Just the way these picks are playing out, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
pretty good with the players I still have right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
All right, with that, let's get
Um,
into it. Or just
yep.
have something else.
No, no, no. I'm actually interested to see what because what like you think of like the players that I have and whatnot. So yeah.
All right, let's do it then. Just I think for your team, there's really two distinct like tiers. You got guys I that have value. I think that are going to produce again. The guys that already produced for you, and then there's some guys that maybe they're getting older. We'll see what they have left in the tank. But we'll start with quarterbacks. Jackson Dart,
Hmm.
I have it as a starter this year. Now that's contingent on if he stays healthy, because I have the
Right.
concussion stuff. But you can say that about anybody. So I went back. I had him as a back. I went back, put him as a starter because he was really good, especially with the rushing upside. And I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be good. I think they'll have neighbors back this year. They went out and got Isaiah Likely for him. I assume they're going to take a running back, but he and Scadaboo are good buddies. I like his
Hmm.
situation. Jim Harbaugh's there, or sorry, John Harbaugh's there. So I like Dart. I think he's going to be a fine fantasy quarterback going forward. And if he isn't, I
Right.
like your two backups. I know Stroud isn't. I know after the rookie year he was the number one of the top three fantasy assets after this rookie year, and he's kind of tapered off. But I still think he's a valuable backup. I mean, he's still finished in the top 20 ish for quarterbacks. That's fine for your backup. And then you also have Kyler Murray, who just signed today with the Vikings, and we'll see. He's more of a he's more of a we'll see. I think it's kind of a prove it deal for him. Like, let's see what you got, and maybe someone
For
else, maybe
sure.
go somewhere else next year. But I like your quarterback group. It's young. All these guys are going to be starters. So I like this a lot. I'm just curious your thoughts on all three, or whoever you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, I definitely love my QB situation. It's just they're all young. Like I don't have to worry about going out getting a replacement quarterback or whatnot. And like I definitely like the improvement in Kyler Murray's situation. I see it as an improvement.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. It's a prove it year for sure. Um, just he'll have just the connection with Justin Jefferson. Hopefully that'll be good, and he'll be able to be mobile. I feel like I think he's going to have a better O line. I'm not sure what it's like with the Cardinals, but I'm pretty sure that it was kind of like lackluster
Yeah,
and
it was
whatnot.
not great.
yeah, and then so yeah, I mean, like I'm not going to depend on him. Definitely see how that goes. Um, but yeah, I was depending on him and Stroud before this season, and Stroud was definitely a disappointment. But like, I could definitely still hold on to Stroud. There's still more opportunity for him in the future to get better. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he can get like a better season to get to the playoffs. There just needs to be better throwing and maybe less dependency on the defense because that defense is really nasty. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
like
it's very good.
yeah, they just need to be able to move the ball a little bit more. I feel like, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like they play a little bit too conservatively. Or maybe he doesn't want to throw picks, which is fine, but he doesn't get a lot of yards. But
Right.
that's fine. We got Dart to make up for that. So if those guys can see some improvement, then I don't know. I'd be willing to trade them or rotate them in.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment it's pretty solid situation.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I also forgot that he was your comp pick selection since you won the toilet bowl
Yeah.
whatever in 2024. This was the 213 pick, which I totally have forgotten about. So Hunter
Hmm.
and we should say right here 213 was Dart. So that's a great pick. Fantastic. I know Dylan was sad when you took him. And rightfully so, as we see, kind of took over nice and early. So yeah, I like this room a lot. And like you said, one of these guys you could end up trading, but don't like you don't. It's not like a need. You don't have to do it, but
Hmm.
there are QB needy teams out there. So we'll see. Moving
Right.
on
Right.
to probably the best up there. I'm trying to think off the top of my head while I'm talking, but probably the best 1-2 punch in the league at running back with Jonathan Taylor and Kyron Williams, who, I mean, just they carried you. I think these two guys really
Yep.
cemented you as the winner. I mean, they had just touchdowns galore. 10 touchdowns. It was at 16 for or 18 for Jonathan Taylor, just always in the end zone. They were huge for you, and I think I think they're going to be good in the next for the next 2-3 years. So I don't think it's anything you have to worry about running back the top two at least. But man, those
Hmm.
guys were awesome for you, and I think they're both yeah these guys were part of your startup draft. So that's awesome.
Yep.
Very
Yep.
solid tandem there.
And
Um,
Kyron's still pretty young. It feels like.
yeah, he's
I,
25.
I yeah. I looked today. I was like, holy crap. He's. I got him when he was like 22 years old,
Yeah,
21 maybe. Um. So he's still got some life in him. And then Jonathan Taylor, he was dealing with his injuries for a couple seasons, so that was pretty rough. But like this season, I didn't even see him on the injury report once.
yeah.
So that's definitely that's definitely something good to look at. The Colts, I feel like they really prioritize his health, but
Hmm.
it's I think eventually, like later in the season, it was difficult for him because they were definitely honing in on him, and then Philip Rivers showing up, and uh, who was the other quarterback?
They had Riley Leonard out there.
Yeah, Riley Leonard for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was definitely tough because there was just no passing game to like really threaten uh, to oppose the run.
right.
So like they were just keying on him. But like, yeah, pretty happy about that. I mean, it's not really much to think about. My only thing that is kind of like part of like why I traded so aggressively for Pickens
Hmm.
was because I committed to holding on to Jonathan Taylor for since our startup draft. He was
Hmm.
like the 101 for me, and he had like a few really bad years with the injuries. So by not being able to capitalize on his value, I felt like I needed to really beef up my team some way just to like make up for it, because or else I would just be losing out on the
Right,
like what I had with Taylor, especially with this season.
right.
So
Yeah,
I'm just glad it all worked out.
yeah. Makes sense for sure.
Yeah,
Then backing up them, you had Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, the
yeah.
tandem in Minnesota, which I mean worked well for you. I remember I tried to get both of these guys off you in preseason, and neither of them were
Hmm.
anything like special this year, but they're fantastic backups, whichever one it was. Because I know he was
Hmm.
hurt, and they kind of split time a little bit. Hang on, Will is making noise. This is the first in the podcast. We've never had
Hmm.
this.
Yeah,
Might get himself back. I might have to go upstairs for a few. All right,
yeah.
you take over. You take over. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, all right. Yeah. Well, I guess on the Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones point, I mean, yeah, there were decent fill-ins for flex. It was kind of tough just having to pick between either of them. In hindsight, I probably should have taken the trade with Justin. Just at the start of the season, I wasn't sure what I would need, if I ever needed to fill in for depth and whatnot. And I think there were a few weeks where it helped, but it just was like kind of unpredictable having picked between either of them. I know Aaron Jones re-signing back was kind of like a disappointment for me. I was kind of hoping he would stay off the team and go. I don't know. He could go somewhere else, maybe. I don't know if anybody would really want to take him. I was kind of hoping Jordan Mason would kind of take over the lead back duties there. Um, he, I felt like he played pretty well on his own on the weeks where Aaron Jones was injured, but there were very few weeks like that, anyways. Um, but yeah, I mean, those guys were pretty okay. Um, I definitely appreciated the value I got out of Jordan Mason, just getting him off the waiver wire. Um, thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, he only gets really like 10 points in a game whenever he's having a split carry. So there's not really much upside with either of these guys, especially with Aaron Jones getting older and whatnot. But I don't want to move too far ahead here. Let's see what else he's got here. Mm-mm-mm. I guess I could go on. Well, I don't even know what I would go on. I mean, I guess I could keep going on with the backups. Yeah, Jalen Waddle. I mean, maybe with the Malik Willis trade, maybe he'll get a little bit of a bump. But Miami's kind of like in a tough situation. They looked really bad this past year. I don't really know if they're going to see much improvement. Um, it's just tough with that sort of. I feel like the organization's kind of like in a bad spot, and they really wanted to key in on keeping Jalen Waddle as like a main star for them, I guess. But I don't know. I guess they gave him like wide receiver one opportunities this year, but he was fairly inconsistent. I mean, you had Tua at the helm, and that looked really terrible for sure. Like I said, I'm hoping Malik Willis could improve on that. He definitely looked pretty good filling in for the Packers this past season. I like Mark Andrews' situation a little bit better now that Likely and Kolar are out of the Ravens. He could definitely use some more targets. I felt like his issue was that he didn't get enough of those targets really. Because I remember in the playoffs a couple of years ago, he ended up dropping a big touchdown pass that would have won them the game, or at least kept them alive in that game. Not sure who they were playing, but they ended up losing uh, in the playoffs completely because of it. And to be honest, I felt like he just wasn't getting his hands on the ball as much. He was probably blocking too much. And I mean, when you just throw it up to him when you need it and you're not really giving him targets, I mean, with this guy, he's probably just going to end up choking it. So maybe moving forward this year, he'll be able to get some more targets. He'll be able to get some more yardage plays, hopefully, but don't really need to depend on that. Um, I don't know about Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey might, I don't know. He could get touchdowns for sure, but um, can't really depend on him in the long term. Definitely have Strange to fill in for that. So if I can see some improvement from Mark Andrews, that'd be great. But I don't really need to depend on that. Oh, he said he'd be back soon.
All right. Hello.
Yo.
All right. Sorry about that. I think he's good now.
All right. Yeah, no worries. I went over the backups a little bit, I guess.
All right.
Went over Waddle and Andrews. I don't know if you want to go over anything in particular.
Um. Well, we'll finish the running backs first, and we'll go through those guys.
Okay.
Did you talk about these guys yet?
No, I didn't.
All right, cool. All these guys are either young development guys. Jordan James is super young. Didn't see the field last year. We'll see with a guy like him behind McCaffrey. Might not be like next year, but the year after could be someone that steps into kind of like a backup role for him. So I like him going forward for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, I think I had Donovan Edwards and Raheem Sanders in this tier as well. Edwards, we'll see. I know he has a lot of competition here, so we'll see with him. But he's young, so he's worth a roster spot. And then Sanders, you also had. I think he's on your practice squad, which is another one who actually got some touches, scored a touchdown this year, but is behind Judkins, who's younger than him, and Sampson, who is, I think, younger than him as well. So we'll see with him, but all three of these guys are young and don't really hurt being on the roster, especially as they have no picks. So I honestly do like all these guys. Not maybe to be, running back ones, but as depth in the future for sure.
Right, and I got them all off the waiver wire,
Right.
so we'll have to see how. I mean, I don't need all of them to do well. I kind of just like one of them to be in a good situation. But like you said,
Exactly.
they're all behind like a lot. I guess Jordan James has like the least depth in front of him with just Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
And the Niners are always dealing with some injury issues, so
Exactly.
I mean, you never know what's going to happen there. But I think they have him there ready. I don't know. I guess there was just some training camp buzz at the start of the preseason last year, and so he was trending pretty well. So I guess that's why I went after him.
Well, yeah, he's young, and everyone expects McCaffrey to get hurt. Like if he doesn't get hurt, it's like, oh, that's interesting, and it's like there's always the possibility that San Francisco's running back 2 is going to be worth something. So
yeah, and I've never cared for Garendo. I don't know. For the little that I've seen him play, it's like okay, I don't think this guy's someone they could really trust. And like he's really their RB1. They're going to be struggling, I think.
Yeah, I think he's probably on his way out soonish of fantasy and of on the Niners. All right, then you have Keaton Mitchell, who just signed a contract today with the Chargers, which I kind of like.
It's interesting. Yep.
Because he is good. Like he's gonna get looks, I think. Even though they have Hampton there, it doesn't show that he's here yet. So we'll just go to Hampton. So behind him is really nothing. Like there's Kamani Vidal, but they kind of lost interest, or he kind of lost his hold when Hampton came back. So I'm sure it's going to be Mitchell versus Vidal there for backing up Hampton, which there's going to be opportunities because they're going to run the ball a ton. So I like this for him.
For sure.
And I think he could be a guy you maybe put in the flex every once in a while, or you could put in the flex every once in a while. So I like Keaton Mitchell.
Yeah, the opportunity would have to present itself, and I don't really expect Hampton to go down with an injury or anything, but you just never know, of
Never
course.
know. Yeah.
What I liked about Mitchell is he just looks so bursty. I mean, like he just gets on the field with a few touches and he gets like a 15-yard gain at least, like out of
Mm-hmm.
nowhere. It's like you just put him in. It's like, oh, okay, look, that guy looks really fast. So um, hopefully he gets more opportunities. But yeah, like you said, I do like the situation with the Chargers. They do have like a pretty good offensive line. Um, but we'll have to see with him. Like he's a waiver pickup. Like most of these
Yeah.
guys are waiver pickups. But he's got some good upside for
Yeah.
sure.
Exactly. I know the Ravens fans wanted to keep him around as a backup, but he's gone. So. All right, and lastly, Sione Vaki. I'm not sure he's going to be getting much offensive time. He's a special teamer for the Lions.
Yeah.
Maybe they drafted him like in the 4th round. He was actually I think listed as a safety when they picked him up. I would be shocked if he gets any touches, but no Montgomery, so maybe. But we'll see. I wouldn't be counting on him.
No, I'm not betting on it either. I remember him being like one of my draft picks a couple of years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then I dropped him in the waivers. But I don't know. Like, yep, Pacheco definitely came in.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks so bad. He looks so bad for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't think he's gonna be like a big bruiser like Montgomery was. I haven't seen much of Vaki play, to be honest. Um, this is all about opportunity, really.
Yeah.
If Pacheco looks bad, they might give Vaki some touches, but
Yep.
yeah, I think I picked him up before Pacheco was signed, anyways. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, this guy doesn't really scare me either. So we'll see what happens.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I think Gibbs is going to get a ton of touches this year, and then it's going to
Yeah.
be not a lot for everybody else. But yeah, Pacheco also has been injured a lot in his career, so that easily could come into play, and it could be Baki or Sailors or someone. So yeah, it's someone to hang on to if you have the bench space.
Yeah,
All right,
Gibbs is always going to be great. That
I hope
guy's not
so.
going away.
I hope so. All right, moving on to receivers. JSN, I mean, there's really no notes. Wide receiver 1 in fantasy this year was unbelievable. I guess he was wide receiver 2. I thought he was 1.
Yeah, he held one for a while. I think. Yeah,
Must have lost right there in the end.
Puka at the very end. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Him and Darnold have a great connection already. No notes at all. We already talked a little bit about Pickens. I like his situation going forward. I think Dak can easily support 2 top receivers in Lamb and Pickens. If he stays healthy, if he doesn't stay healthy, that's a different story. Obviously, he was healthy last year, but we'll see. But yeah, I like him going forward. I think it was a good trade for you. Obviously, it helped you win the league. So yeah, the top 2 are awesome. Jalen Waddle is a pretty big unknown. I think his talent will win out. I think he's good enough to be a startable receiver for sure.
Yeah, the Dolphins really like him. They definitely wanted to keep him. They didn't want to trade him away or anything. I think Malik Willis coming in is probably going to be a big help, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still uncertain. I don't know. Malik Willis looked pretty good, so maybe if he can threaten a little bit with his legs, he can maybe open it up a little bit more for Jalen Waddle. It's just anything's better than Tua, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. And a whole new offense. We'll see what that looks like. So I'm excited to see because I like Waddle. So easily by the end of the year he could be up here for sure. But it's just the uncertainty with the offense and with Malik Willis that I don't know yet. But right. I like him for sure. Mm-hmm. I think he's a totally fine guy to have in your receiver 3 role. But yeah, I like this top 3. Moving down, you have Isaiah Bond, who kind of looked pretty good last year in his limited touches. But he's just one to look out for. He's super young, had a lot of targets, really. Just didn't have as many catches. So kind of a deep ball guy. We'll see what Shedeur develops into. Maybe they can get some chemistry going. But yeah, he's a perfectly fine development guy. There's not really much by way of receivers in Cleveland. This guy could easily end up being a backup by the end of this year. So I like him going forward.
Hmm.
And I think you picked him up, yeah, with Fob last year too. So that was a good Fob pickup. A lot of good Fob pickups.
Yeah, it's really frustrating having to deal with Cleveland as an organization.
Oh yeah,
Just yeah, this guy's I feel like he's pretty talented and definitely shows it. It's just not many opportunities to be given. We'll just need more time. But maybe he gets traded somewhere else eventually, and then he can perform better with a different situation.
hmm
Or maybe Shador can actually take over as the quarterback and then give him some targets. But
yeah,
I can't really guarantee that, honestly.
yeah. He's just one to
Yeah,
look out for.
yeah,
Then you got
mm-hmm.
Jalen Naylor, who got his move to Vegas, which I like for him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that he's good enough to be like a number one, and I don't think he would
Mm-hmm.
be
Yeah,
because they have Bowers here. But as the number one
right.
receiver, I don't. We'll see. I think they draft somebody, but even then, that makes him the second guy. I think that's perfect for him. He hasn't really got the chance to show it, but he was really. I watched a lot of him in Michigan State. Really good receiver. Um, but he was
Yeah.
just overshadowed by Addison and Jefferson for most of his career. So
Mm-hmm.
I do like this move for him. I have him as a spots like a if in a pinch start because I do like it. I like Mendoza a lot. So I like this offseason for Naylor for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'm surprised by that, and that they gave him so much money on a yearly basis for being like a wide receiver three.
Me too.
Yeah, he looked good in the few weeks that like Addison was hurt.
hmm
But like even then he didn't put any crazy numbers up that's like worth 35 million, I guess. But
Totally agree.
um yeah, but like yeah, I mean this Raiders offense is definitely gonna be really interesting between like Jinty, Mendoza, oh man, and yeah, and Brock Bowers being there already.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a pretty good upgrade. And then they even got like the guard. I forget his name now, but like
Yeah, they got Linderbaum. They upgraded the defense. They got to keep Max Crosby after all that. I kind of like the
yeah.
Raiders offseason. I kind of like it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, are they even going to be able to afford all these people now with them getting Crosby back? I thought there was like a bunch of jokes about that.
I, th- I think they will.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah,
but uh, it might be tight.
yeah.
Might be tight.
We'll see what happens with that, but
Yeah.
yeah. This offense should be very different though, and
Oh yeah.
Genty should get some help for sure. I think
Big
he'll
time.
he'll look better.
All right, then you have Travis Hunter, who we've already talked about. We'll see with
Yep.
the whole full time DB, part time. We'll see. It's really too early to tell. Um, it absolutely has the talent to be up here as a solid backup, even a starter, but we just don't know yet. I just can't. Is next year? I think we'll know more of what he's going to be going forward. But with the injury
Hmm.
this year and just so much, just too much uncertainty. But yeah, I still like him as a player. I think he's going to be fine either side of the ball. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and you know what? I don't fault anybody for like passing on him. It actually makes sense considering. I mean, he got injured, right? So like you can't really predict that, but
no,
he was definitely a risky speculative pick, right? So
yes,
it made sense not to take him so high. So
but I
uh,
feel like where you got
that,
him, that was
yeah,
value. I mean, that was pretty much where he was going. So
yeah,
any later, he probably would have been viewed as a steal, to be honest.
hmm
All right, then we have your favorite player, Brandon Ayuk. I'm just kidding.
yeah,
The dude who
yeah. This
hasn't
guy's a
played in a
problem.
year and a half, man, he just, I don't know, it's just trouble. Trouble. He's super, super good, very good football player, but kind of a scumbag. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't want him anywhere near the Lions. Like, he just seems like a locker room issue. Um, Maybe there's a coach out there that can get to him, figure him out, and help him. And then he's another one he's right up here, and I'm totally fine with that. But he's not even been released yet, so we don't even know what team he's going to be on. We don't even know if he's going to be on the 49ers. I doubt it. Man, we'll see. Brandon Ayuk has had quite the fall from grace in the last couple of years.
yeah. I feel like that's a pretty scummy situation, to be honest. Like like you said, he was out for like a year and a half with the ACL injury. And I guess he wasn't doing his rehab like
Hmm.
the way that 49ers wanted him to. And I guess he just didn't show up to their facility and whatnot. So they were able to like void his contract. But they also did not want to straight up release him. And to me, it's like they know that a team would be willing to pick him up.
Yeah.
So that they're willing to hold on to him as long as possible just to like screw him over pretty much. It's so bad. Like it makes me hate the 49ers a little bit more.
Yeah. Easy team to
It's
hate
just
too. So.
yeah. It's I think they hate each other, and
Oh yeah.
like you said, he's probably got some locker room issues. But I mean, the way the league is, and like the availability of like good receivers, like I don't. It would be tough for me to think that like all 32 teams would pass on him,
Yeah.
right? Like
Agreed.
especially since he's so far off removed from an ACL tear.
Uh huh.
Um, eventually, when he's available, like I gotta assume that someone's gonna try to pick him up and give him an opportunity.
Yeah.
And assuming he, he's conditioned and whatnot, then hopefully he can pick up back to where he was before, or something resembling the skill set that he had before, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his compatriot, one-time compatriot, I should say, for the
Yeah.
Niners, Debo Samuel, the Swiss Army knife, as you
Hmm.
have him nicknamed here. He had a good season last year, which I was not expecting him. Like it was good for what he is. He's getting older now. He's lost a step here or there, but he's still a good player. But we just don't know where he's going to be. So we'll see what happens with him. I think he's easily still backup material. Um, I don't know if you'd want to have him in like your wide receiver one slot or anything like that, but someone you put in the flex
Yeah.
is totally fine. But it just depends on where he goes. If he goes to a crappy situation, like if he goes to somewhere, I don't know, like if he goes to Dallas, I don't know, maybe that's good for him. But I don't know, maybe that would be good for him. If he goes to, I'm thinking, he's got a bunch of good receivers. I don't know.
It would definitely be bad for me if I had to figure out who to
Yes,
start,
that would be tough.
or not even who to start. It's just like I'll start Pickens, and then this guy steals a touchdown, and I bench him. That would be tough. But
Yeah, but if there's plenty of teams that could use him, so I think he in 2 weeks when we find out or whatever it is, he'll be up here. So I think he's still got some juice in the tank. Definitely a viable depth option for you.
mm-hmm.
And then the last two we have Hollywood Brown and Josh Palmer. Hollywood Brown, where is Hollywood Brown?
Yeah,
There
he's
he
in the
is.
middle there.
Um, Kind of a quiet season for Kansas City. We'll see. He's another one who is a free agent. So he has to see where he lands. I'm less confident that he's going to have another good year than I am in like a Debo Samuel. But we'll see. He's got to see where he lands first.
It's just so disappointing with him. He looked so good before, and
Mm-hmm.
he's 20. He's 28. It's not like he's like super old or anything. But I remember watching him like with Patrick Mahomes at some point in the season when um, the other receivers were down, and he was kind of like the main receiver. He dropped a real crucial
Yeah,
catch. Yeah,
I
like
remember
in the
that.
fourth quarter, and Patrick Mahomes was just so mad. And like he had it in his hands. He just dropped it. So like watching that, it's like okay, yeah, this guy's kind of done. We'll see what happens with him, but like I'm not, yeah, I'm not really expecting too much from him. It really is just truly disappointing.
Yeah, because he was really good in college. He's fun player to watch. Super fast. So
Hmm.
we'll see. I think there's a
Yeah.
spot for him somewhere out there, but just tough
Hmm.
to know yet. And then Josh Palmer, I thought was going to have a good time in Buffalo, but he
Yeah.
has been was bad this year. I don't really know the whole story. I know they
Hmm.
kind of moved away from a pass first offense. They really run the ball a ton. They still throw it obviously, but with Josh Allen, but they run the ball a lot. And when guys
Hmm.
like Terrell Shavers are getting more targets than you on a week to week basis for a couple weeks there, it's not great. Um, we'll see. He's still Bill. DJ Moore going there probably probably hurts a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see with Josh Palmer.
Yeah, it definitely felt like he lacked explosiveness whenever he was on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what they disliked. He's probably more of like a possession catch kind of player, but even then, he wasn't really getting many targets. Like you said, it was a run first offense. So I don't think his situation is gonna really improve that much. Um, but yeah, it's another disappointing story. But like, yeah, that's this category of players we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then lastly, you have Henry Ruggs on the roster, which I got a chuckle out of because I forgot he existed, and I don't know that he's ever gonna. I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I,
Sleeper has him as his career might not be over, but he's not 22 anymore. I think he's like 20. What is he?
yeah,
27 by now. He's
I was gonna
20.
say, let me see.
He's
Yeah,
27.
that's crazy.
We'll see. I think he gets out of prison soon. I don't know, man. Very sad story, but we'll see. Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, you don't have any draft picks this year, so might as well hold on to him
right.
just in case.
Uh, I think he's due for parole like in August, and I don't even know how that works.
Yeah, I
It's like,
have no
do
idea.
they let you play? Will a team sign you if you're on parole? Like,
That would be funny, because you can't yeah, you can't go a certain. I don't know. That's an interesting one. I don't know if that's ever happened. I'm sure it has. Maybe. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
I think Sleeper was saying there the closest comparison was like Michael Vick, but I'm not even
Oh
really
yeah.
familiar with his situation, like how that played out.
Oh man.
But like he's still young, and he hasn't put his body on the line, so maybe there's
Yeah,
some
maybe.
value there. But it's a flyer for sure.
Definitely, definitely one to just keep on the roster if you have the space. That's funny.
Hmm.
I got a
Yeah,
laugh out of that one. I was like, holy shit, he has Henry Ruggs. All right,
yeah.
moving on
Hmm.
to tight ends. Brenton Strange, who I'm a big Strange. I like Brenton Strange a lot, and he didn't
Hmm.
have. Well, he had actually a really good year. He was hurt for some of it. I
Yeah.
think he's
Hmm.
gonna have a great year this year. I think Trevor Lawrence's bounce back is gonna help him. Um,
Hmm.
Guys like Brian Thomas, maybe not. I believe in Brian Thomas, but this was a weird year. Definitely
It's
someone to
tough.
look out for. There's targets to be had, and I think Strange and Lawrence have a good relationship, good rapport already. So I really like
Yeah.
him going forward.
He definitely felt like a good safety blanket for him, just for like first downs,
Mm-hmm.
and then the red zone. He didn't get like too many touchdowns, but he was a big target for him. And like you said with Trevor Lawrence, he's performing very well. He had a good end of the season for Trevor in the
Yeah.
playoffs. So I mean, there's no doubt that Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. I was talking shit about him like earlier this season, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. He's not like super fast or anything, but like you don't really get that very often with tight ends. I mean, like you get that with like Brock Bowers, George Kittle, or
Mm.
like Trey McBride. Um, that's not how this is, but he definitely gets his targets, and he gets like at least 10 yards on a catch, which is pretty good, especially with this league.
Right, and I think he's a good blocker too. So he'll always be on the field. Like his snap percentage
Hmm.
is super high, which sometimes tight ends that like catch first tight ends they're not on the field for a lot of run plays. So him being a good blocker, he's going to be out there all the time. I'm I like Strange a lot, and you also have
Hmm.
Kelsey, who is coming back for another year, and he just
Yeah,
keeps catching balls. I mean, he had a 76 catches, 851. I know I traded him to you a couple years ago. I thought I was getting out like at the right time,
yeah.
and here he is, still producing. So um, we'll see without Mahomes for some time. I know some people think Mahomes will be back for Week 1. I don't know. We'll see with the Achilles. But either way,
Hmm.
for a backup quarterback, it's pretty good blanket to have is Travis Kelsey. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's coming back for another year.
yeah,
From when we traded him, from when you traded him to me, I gave you 3 seconds.
mm-hmm.
So I guess he's kind of panning out to give me the third year value. Because is that what is like? It would be my third year having him, I guess.
uh,
I think
yeah, I think we traded mid season 2024. So yeah, third
kind of.
it'll be your third season with him.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer he could go. I kind of just expected him to be done, but it's insane that he's staying, but he just looks so sluggish. He looks so
Yeah,
sluggish, but somehow he still gets catches.
he looks like a different player, but still very productive. Obviously, tight end 5 this
Yeah,
year. So
yeah. And if you look at like the sports books, like on a week to week basis, he's like minus like 140, like on a week to week basis to catch a touchdown.
it's crazy.
Yeah, they just expect to give him the ball at some point in the red zone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how, but they make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the 1-2 punch there, and I have Mark Andrews down here in backup. Now I know they got rid of Likely, so maybe that changes things. But I think Andrews is show looks like honestly looks just as old as Kelsey. He's 4 or 5 years
Hmm.
younger. I think he could have a bounce back. And if he does, I think easily you have three startable tight ends. I think you even right now have three startable tight ends, but I think Andrews is probably the third best of these three.
Hmm.
But still good and still worth a roster spot, still worth a flex if you have to. But we'll see with the new offense. Maybe they get him back going. That could be huge for him. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's still got some juice in him. He had a 30-point game earlier in the season, and then he never really replicated that again. Um,
Oh yeah,
but like,
two touchdowns. That'll do it.
mm-hmm, yeah. So like, the way they vacated the other tight ends, I was mentioning this earlier while you were gone. I do like this as an opportunity for him. I mean, they're kind of trusting him as their tight end. I
Hmm.
drafted him as like my surefire tight end, and then he really disappointed. So that's why I felt like I needed to trade for Kelsey. Um, but hopefully he kind of comes back and fills in that role that I'm hoping for. Where he would just be like the tight end, but that's not even the situation I'm in anymore. Now that I have
Yeah,
like Strange, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, but perfect guy to keep around for depth. Yeah, for sure. And then lastly, you have Jared Wiley, who um, we'll see.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't
he's a
know.
bum. Yeah.
I'm not sure he's ever going to be anything, but hey, worth a roster spot. You could probably pick up a free agent or something that might be more viable than him, but who knows? Who knows? I don't know much about him, to be honest. I don't know much. I don't have much on Jared Wiley.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't seen anything on him, and there's like no information on him at all on the internet. My rationale was just like I thought Travis Kelsey was just going to retire like in any one of these seasons,
Yeah,
and he surprisingly hasn't. But like, I just don't like Noah Gray, and I don't think the Chiefs like Noah Gray. I think they just use him like if they need him, like at
hmm
any point. But like he doesn't get like any big burst plays. So like if you lose Kelsey, I don't think they're really looking at Noah Gray as like a long term option. I feel like they're kind of stashing this guy,
yeah,
like because they keep him on the roster and like they put him in the practice squad eventually, I think. But like even then, he wasn't always on the practice squad. He just didn't get any time on the field at all.
right,
Yeah, so I don't know if this guy's even really good at all. Like for all I know, next year they could draft a tight end or something, or they could trade for a tight end if Kelsey were to retire. And then that would be disappointing. But yeah, I mean it's a totally random situation with this guy. He could just do nothing for sure.
yeah. We'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see. And then as for picks, you have just one third next year, and then you have all of your 2028 picks. So I know you mentioned you have a couple years with this team, and then maybe start to look at a rebuild. I think you definitely still have some youth here, so maybe not as much a rebuild as just like what they quote unquote retool.
Hmm.
You maybe trade one or two of these guys and grab some younger guys, but I don't know. We'll see. I think definitely a run it back type year for you. Um,
Hmm.
Now down here with the potential starting lineup, I think you're good with any of these quarterbacks. Totally fine starting any of them. Solid at running back, very solid at tight end, and then you have a good 1-2 punch, a great 1-2 punch in JSN and Pickens. I think Waddle easily is going to be a startable receiver, and I think one of these, either Mason, Naylor, or Samuel, one of these guys, I don't know. I'll say Samuel for now, but and that could be what your starting lineup looks like with some depth here, and then uh, I think that's solid for sure. I mean, I won you the league last year, so definitely something. Also, I just realized I don't have Travis Hunter down here. Definitely a good team. So yeah, it's just my thoughts. Um, so yeah, anything else about your team you wanna address?
Yeah, I like my starters. JT and JSN. were my favorites.
Oh yeah.
I love seeing them as like RB1, wide receiver one for like the majority of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I felt real confident that like I could take it all the way. Um, I know that me being in the bads was kind of like a situation where everyone was just like, "Oh, well, he's just getting free wins." But
Mm,
yeah, I felt like it was kind of karma for me being stiff armed the previous season. So it's just how it goes. I'm gonna have to deal with being in the goods next year, and so we'll see how the teams shake out. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to take advantage of the situation I was able to take advantage of with being in the bads and having like a good team.
mm-hmm.
Um, I have to look at that, but I mean, I'm definitely like willing to compete with the guys I have right
For
now.
sure. Yeah.
I think my weakest issue is probably flex depth. You know,
Yeah.
like uh, Kyron's good at two, but then it's like I don't have like a solid option after that. But you know, I can't ask for too much. Um, any of these guys go down or they have like a bye week, then I do have to worry about some shakiness in my starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But that's any team. So
Yeah. Exactly.
um, yeah, and I guess the other thing is that yeah, I do like you have a great team. Like I know these other guys have good teams as well. It's something like especially that you have is that you have great starters with a bunch of picks. So you definitely have a lot of options in terms of being able to move guys around and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. Um, so definitely looking forward to a good season with everybody, though.
Yeah.
I'm just happy
Sure.
I got to win one. I'm not going to be like too greedy or anything.
I mean,
Just hoping for the best.
your dues are paid
Hmm.
for like 5 years. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous.
Exactly right.
One thing you mentioned
Yeah.
about the Bads division, so I forgot to talk about this earlier. You for finished 12-2. You scored the most points. So like any
Mhm.
argument that anyone has, like oh he was in the Bads division, he got free wins. You score more than anybody in the Goods division. So if you're up there, you're likely going to have at least 9 wins, and you're in the playoffs, and you make the playoffs. You same
Right.
result happens. Your team was good in the playoffs. So you did have the least points against. But again,
Hmm.
that it's less like a couple years ago. I think it was year one. Tim was
Hmm.
finished in first, I think. And he, let's see, we'll get the numbers. Tim doesn't listen, so we can say whatever we want. Uh, Tim, where is he? Yeah, so he finished 11-3, only scored 1,500 points. He was like, yeah, was it fourth best or fourth worst in points
Hmm.
scored, and had the least amount of points against, and they got shellacked in the playoffs. That's a fluky season
Right.
in my opinion. When you score the most points, it's not fluky. So I'm totally fine with you having the duality of having the most points for and the least points against, because you have the most points for. That's not fluky to me. Again, add 100 on add 200 points on here. 16. You're 10-2 or 10-4, and you
Hmm.
still make the play. Like it's. I wouldn't discount it just because you were the best division at all.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I will say I feel for Trevor for sure because I mean he had a crazy comeback coming in as like well you can't really call it comeback, huh? He was the bottom seed, but he was able to
Mm-hmm.
have like two really great weeks where like his team just popped off.
Yeah,
Only thing though is just the way the numbers play out. You can't have that happen like 3 weeks in a row,
it's
right?
tough. It's tough.
Yeah, that's really difficult. And so even though like yeah, I mean it seems like a fluky championship. It's like um, there's got to be something to show for like the whole season, right? I mean like Jonathan Taylor putting up the numbers he did, JSN putting up the numbers he did. Like they didn't put up those numbers like for me at the very end of the season. Definitely when I needed it. Hopefully they don't do that again for me next year. You
Yeah,
know, hopefully don't put me into that situation. Even like Pickens gave me like a mediocre game at the very
yeah,
end of the season. Hmm. But it was just enough.
yeah.
It's crazy how the numbers work.
Yeah,
It really is.
it's. I mean, you can build a team and get to the playoffs, but once the playoffs start, it's all luck. It really is.
Hmm. Yeah.
You said I don't. I really don't think it's a fluky season. When you scored 1,900 points, I think that might be up there with the most points scored in the season like ever. That's
Oh
pretty
shit.
high. That's a lot of points. So I wouldn't I wouldn't discount anything. I mean, let's go look actually. So we know that last year we had So Archie had 2,000, but that's
Oh
fuck. That's a lot of points. Oh
yeah.
shoot, that's the wrong one. Let's do previously 2023. I don't think we had anybody that high that last year, a couple years ago. So God, Archie's just good, man.
It's
Archie's
just
just
yeah,
good.
Alvin Kamara and Jamar Chase.
Yeah. So you're that's the second tied for the second most points or third actually it's third most points in a season we've ever seen. So I wouldn't
I'll
say
take it.
fluky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say fluky. That's a well deserved championship. But yeah, next year both of us are in the goods. We'll see. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
duking it out with Dylan and Nate and Trev and Archie and obviously us too. But yeah, we'll see. The Vaz division could be up for grabs next year.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think Rahul's got a pretty good team. Seattle's team's okay. We'll see what Jersey can pull together. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be an interesting season for sure.
I'm definitely scared to see how these teams play out once these picks start to
Oh yeah.
once they start to like turn over and they actually start to develop. This the league's gonna flip flop back and forth between who's good and who's bad. But
Unless your
yeah,
name is Archie, you'll always be here.
unless they're Archie, yeah, you're always gonna be in contention.
All right, Yerdan, it's time for you to add yourself onto the tier list. As you may or may not know, you put yourself on, you get to rank yourself. Um, the last three we've had have been all in tier one, so it's up to you. You get to choose.
Yeah, if Archie gets to be in tier one, I get to be in tier one as well.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Defending champions deserved.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I agree with that. Yeah.
because I know we're both like pretty deflated on our picks, but I like my team. I feel like my main starters are like really well in form,
Oh yeah.
and I'm expecting a lot out of JSN, especially since I mean he wants to get paid like a top receiver now. He wants to get that. He wants to have that sort of reputation. He's
Yep.
not. Yeah, he doesn't want to just be a developmental piece anymore. So definitely looking forward to those guys playing.
For sure. Yeah.
JT still got some juice.
Oh
He's
yeah.
got like at least a couple good years.
I think running these two are around for another 3 years easily. Kyron probably four,
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
JSN and Pickens are still young. Strange is young. Waddle's pretty young. You have your 28 picks, so I think definitely some. I think you definitely have some longevity there.
For sure. For sure. But yeah, this is great. I kudos to you for getting all these podcasts out. It's a crazy week you had to go through. I'm
Busy
sure.
week. It's been fun. It's not. It's like I'm stay at home dad right now, so I got some
Yeah.
free time. So when I have a job
Yeah.
next year, there won't be any 4 podcast
Uh,
weeks. I wouldn't imagine. But this is fun. Yeah, it's a good podcast week. I don't know. Free agency felt like a good time to talk football.
oh yeah. Yeah. I definitely miss it for sure.
Oh man.
It's tough when the playoffs end.
Yeah, and then we got is get us to the draft. Once you get to the draft, then it's summer, and then it's like I don't need to think about football as much. It's nice. It's nice weather outside. It's summer. So
Right. Mm-hmm.
all right.
Yeah. This is perfect. This is perfect timing. Yep.
Anything else? Anything else to add?
No. Thanks for hosting this. This is
Yeah,
great.
of course, I'm glad everyone. I mean, we had everybody on aside from Taylor and Nate will get on next weekend, but I'm glad people are liking it. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. I'll definitely be tuning in. I gotta check out some of these other ones. Like I think I gotta watch Trevor's still. I
That was
was
a good
I was
one.
watching a little bit of it. Yeah.
Good one. Yeah,
Um,
it's all on YouTube. It's all there.
mhm.
All right, brother. Thank you for coming on. This was fun. I will talk to you later.
Of course. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Appreciate everything. See
Yep.
ya.
See ya. All right. Thank you to Yerdan for joining up tonight. Good time. Good fun podcast as usual. Yeah, I agree with him. I agree with that. I agree with him. I think they got another year of playoff or of championship contention. So yeah. All right, that's it. 4 podcasts in a week. 4 hours of this. It's fun. It's fun. It's good fun. All right. I won't see you for a bit. I am not going to be here much of next week, so we'll pick back up with Nate next weekend, either Friday or Saturday of next weekend. Also, I just now looked at my camera and realized you have not been seeing me this whole time. It's fine. All right. That is it. I'll talk to you all later. See ya.